Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When a woman knows who she is, she doesn't have to beg for attention. She becomes the attention. You'll be on his mind all night, not because you tried to be, but because everything about you speaks class, confidence, and self-respect. See, the moment you stop chasing and start embracing your worth, that's when a man can't stop thinking about you. The power of mystery and self-respect is one of the most attractive qualities a woman can ever possess. When you walk into a room and you don't feel the need to tell everybody who you are, that's power. When you can look at a man, smile, and not say a word, but he still feels something, that's power. See, mystery isn't about playing games. It's about knowing that not everyone deserves to know every piece of you. The moment you start giving everything away, your time, your energy, your emotions, you take away the beauty of discovery. Men love the chase, but what keeps them chasing is the unknown, the part of you that he can't quite figure out. When a woman knows how to hold something back, how to keep a little piece of herself private, she becomes magnetic. She becomes unforgettable. Self-respect is the foundation of that mystery. It's not about arrogance. It's about boundaries. When you respect yourself, you show people how to treat you. You don't allow anyone to waste your time because you understand that your peace is priceless. You don't beg for attention because you know your value doesn't decrease when someone fails to see it. You walk away from anything that doesn't honor your worth, not because you're cold-hearted, but because you love yourself enough to protect your heart. And let me tell you, when a man sees that kind of woman, she stands out. She's not like the rest. She's not desperate for validation or begging for love. She knows who she is, and that's what keeps her on his mind long after the conversation ends. There's something powerful about a woman who can sit in silence and be at peace with it. She doesn't have to overshare to fill the space. She doesn't have to prove her value. She lets her energy speak for her. The way she carries herself says everything. Her confidence, her calmness, her grace, those are the things that whisper louder than words. That's the kind of woman a man remembers when he lays in bed at night wondering what it is about her that he just can't shake. When you have mystery, you make him want to know more. When you have self-respect, you make him work for it. And when you have both, you become unforgettable. A man can't stop thinking about the woman who didn't try too hard, the one who didn't rush to impress him, the one who kept her standards high and her emotions grounded. You're not playing hard to get, you're being hard to forget. That's the difference. Mystery keeps him interested, but self-respect makes him stay interested. The truth is, when a woman combines mystery with self-respect, she sets herself apart in a world where so many are giving too much too soon. She's not afraid to walk away because she knows walking away doesn't mean losing. It means choosing herself, and that's the kind of strength a man admires. That's the kind of presence that lingers long after you've gone. Because mystery might catch his attention, but self-respect, that's what captures his heart. and keeps you on his mind all night long. Confidence makes a woman unforgettable because it radiates from the inside out. You can't fake it, you can't borrow it, and you can't pretend to have it. It's something that grows when you truly know who you are. When a woman is confident, she doesn't chase approval, she creates her own lane. She doesn't need to compete with other women because she understands her uniqueness is her superpower. Confidence is quiet. It's not in how loud you talk, but in how sure you move. It's in the way you walk into a room knowing you belong there, even if nobody else tells you so. That energy, that calm assurance, that grace under pressure, that's what keeps a man thinking about you long after the day is done. A confident woman doesn't ask, am I enough for him? She asks, is he enough for me? That shift in mindset changes everything. When you stop trying to impress and start standing in your truth, you flip the power dynamic. You no longer look for someone to complete you because you already feel complete within yourself. A man can sense that. He feels the difference between a woman who needs him and a woman who chooses him. And that choice, that strength, is what he respects, what he desires, and what he can't stop thinking about. Confidence tells him you're not looking for a man to build your world. You're inviting him into one that's already built. There's something magnetic about a woman who's comfortable in her own skin. She's not worried about perfection. She's focused on presence. She doesn't hide her flaws or shrink herself to make others comfortable. Instead, she embraces every part of who she is, the good, the bad, and the growing. That kind of self-acceptance draws people in. It's not arrogance, it's authenticity, and men can feel it. When you laugh freely, speak your truth without fear, and carry yourself with grace, you leave a mark that can't be erased. Confidence doesn't mean you never doubt yourself. It means you don't let those doubts control you. It's choosing to believe in yourself even when things get tough. It's walking away from situations that don't serve you even when it hurts. It's showing up for yourself every single day, no matter who's watching. That's what makes you stand out. Because the truth is, a woman who respects herself, loves herself, and believes in herself is unforgettable. When a man meets a confident woman, she challenges him without even trying. She doesn't beg for his attention, but somehow she has all of it. She doesn't tell him she's different. She shows him through how she carries herself, how she speaks, and how she refuses to settle. That kind of woman doesn't have to prove her worth. She embodies it. And that's why he'll be thinking about her long after she's gone, replaying her smile, her words, her energy, wondering what it is about her that he just can't let go of. Because confidence, my friends, is not about being perfect. It's about being powerful in your truth. And that power lingers. Emotional intelligence is one of the most powerful traits a woman can have because it shows she's not just beautiful, she's wise, grounded, and deeply aware. It's the ability to read the room, to understand without being told, and to respond with grace instead of impulse. When a woman carries that kind of calm energy, it leaves a mark A man may meet many women, but the one who listens before she speaks, who feels deeply yet stays composed, is the one who stays in his mind. Emotional intelligence is what turns a moment into a memory, because it's not about what she says, it's about how she makes him feel. A woman with emotional intelligence knows that every reaction doesn't deserve a response. She doesn't get caught up in drama, doesn't chase explanations, and doesn't let her emotions control her peace. Instead, she takes a breath, observes, and moves with intention. That kind of woman is rare, and men know it. In a world full of noise, she brings silence that feels safe. When she speaks, her words carry meaning. When she listens, she makes him feel understood. That's not something a man forgets easily. That feeling of being seen and valued by a woman who doesn't need to prove anything, that's what plays on his mind long after she's gone. Emotional intelligence teaches a woman when to hold on and when to let go. It gives her strength to walk away when something doesn't align with her peace. She understands that love shouldn't feel like confusion, and attention shouldn't come at the cost of dignity. That understanding makes her powerful because she doesn't operate from desperation. She operates from discernment. A man can feel that difference. He knows she's not reacting out of insecurity. She's responding out of self-respect. And that balance between heart and mind makes her unforgettable. The truth is, emotional intelligence is what separates a woman who's simply attractive from a woman who's unforgettable. Beauty might catch his eye, but wisdom captures his soul. It's in how she handles disagreements without shouting, how she forgives without forgetting her worth, how she expresses emotion without losing control. She doesn't manipulate or guilt trip, she communicates. She doesn't beg for effort, she matches energy. And when she chooses to love, it's from a place of confidence, not fear. That's what draws a man in deeper. He'll lie awake thinking about how peaceful it felt just to be around her, how her calm made him want to become better, how she challenged him without criticizing him. A woman with emotional intelligence doesn't chase love, she attracts it. She knows that emotional control is strength, not coldness. She gives kindness without allowing herself to be taken for granted. Her patience is not weakness, it's wisdom. And that combination of empathy, understanding, and self-awareness, that's the kind of energy that haunts a man's thoughts long into the night. Because emotional intelligence doesn't just touch his heart, it stays in his soul. Boundaries and standards are not walls meant to keep love out. They're gates meant to protect it. When a woman sets clear boundaries, she's not being difficult, she's being wise. She understands that not everyone deserves access to her heart, her time, or her energy. A woman with standards doesn't let just anyone come into her world. She makes sure that whoever does has earned the right to be there. That's not arrogance. That's self-awareness. And when a man encounters that kind of woman, he feels it immediately. He knows she's not like the rest. She's not waiting for someone to complete her. She's guarding the peace she already built. Having boundaries means you know where your limits are and you're not afraid to enforce them. You don't tolerate disrespect in the name of love, and you don't shrink your worth to fit into someone else's comfort zone. You're not afraid to say no, not because you want to push people away, but because you respect yourself enough to choose peace over chaos. That kind of strength is magnetic. It's what makes a man stop and think, what do I have to do to rise to her level? A woman who has standards raises the quality of every relationship she enters because she demands maturity, consistency, and honesty. When you have boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. You show them through your actions that your love is not something to play with. You don't chase, you don't beg, and you don't settle for half effort. You know that real love doesn't require you to sacrifice your dignity. And that realization changes everything. A man can't stop thinking about a woman who respects herself because it challenges him to respect her too. You become the kind of woman he doesn't want to lose, not because you threaten to leave, but because he knows your standards won't allow you to stay in anything that feels less than you deserve. A woman with standards doesn't measure her worth by how much attention she gets, but by how much peace she keeps. She knows that love isn't about proving herself to someone, it's about mutual respect. She's not looking for perfection, but she refuses to settle for disrespect. And when she walks away, she does it with grace, not anger. That grace is what keeps her unforgettable, because deep down, a man remembers the woman who didn't make a scene, she simply made a decision. Boundaries make love stronger because they separate what's real from what's convenient. They protect you from people who only want your energy but not your effort. When you set standards, you're saying, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm not afraid to eat alone until someone worthy sits beside me. That kind of confidence wrapped in self-respect doesn't just earn attention, it earns admiration. And that's why he'll be lying awake, thinking about the woman who didn't beg for his love, but demanded his best, knowing that a woman with standards isn't hard to love, she's just hard to forget. Making him chase you through your energy isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about alignment, authenticity, and confidence. When your energy is strong, peaceful, and sure, it speaks louder than any words you could ever say. A woman who knows how to use her energy doesn't need to beg for attention. She attracts it naturally. She knows that her presence alone can shift a room. The way she carries herself, the way she smiles, the calm in her tone, all of it draws people in without her having to try. That's because true attraction isn't physical first, it's energetic. When your spirit feels grounded and unbothered, it sends out a signal that says, I'm not here to chase, I'm here to be chosen. A man can sense when a woman's energy is desperate, and they can sense when it's divine. Desperate energy says, please notice me. Divine energy says, you'll notice me when you're ready. The woman who holds her peace instead of fighting for attention becomes irresistible. She's not cold, she's composed. She doesn't need to prove her worth because she knows it already. Her energy makes him curious. He wonders why she's so calm, why she's not chasing like everyone else, why she feels so different. And that curiosity becomes a pull that keeps him thinking about her even when she's not around. Energy doesn't lie. You can wear the best outfit, say all the right things, and still not connect if your energy doesn't match your words. But when you're aligned, when your heart, your actions, and your mindset are in sync, you become unforgettable. Your peace becomes your power. You don't have to force anything because you understand that what's meant for you will never pass you by. That quiet confidence creates mystery. It makes him want to know more. It makes him want to get closer. It makes him wonder how you can be so soft yet so strong, so warm yet so untouchable. Making him chase you through your energy also means you're not reacting to every little thing. You're selective with your responses. You don't argue to prove a point, and you don't compete for attention. You simply exist in your truth and let your presence speak for itself. That kind of energy is rare, and when a man finds it, it changes him. You teach him that love doesn't need chaos to feel real. It can be peaceful and still powerful. You show him that a woman's silence can be louder than words, and her grace can leave a deeper impression than any game ever could. A woman who controls her energy controls the room. She understands that attraction starts in the mind before it ever reaches the heart. She leaves behind traces of her energy that linger. The way she laughed, the way she carried herself, the way she didn't chase but simply was. That energy stays with him. It lingers in his thoughts, it echoes in his memory, and it makes him realize that what she gave wasn't just attention, it was presence. And presence, when it's real, will make him chase her not because he has to, but because he wants to. Leaving a lasting impression without saying a word is an art, and it's one that powerful women master without even trying. It's not about looks, it's not about style, it's about presence. Presence is that quiet strength that enters a room before you speak and stays long after you've gone. It's the way you carry yourself with grace, with peace, with confidence that doesn't need to be announced. A woman who leaves a mark without words understands that silence can be more powerful than speech. It's in the way she listens, the way she moves, the way she makes people feel without trying too hard. She doesn't chase attention, she commands it effortlessly. When she walks away, she doesn't need to turn back because her energy already lingers behind. A woman who knows how to leave a lasting impression understands that actions always speak louder than promises. The way she treats people, the way she holds her standards, the way she refuses to compromise her values, those are the things that people remember. You don't have to talk about your worth when you live it. You don't have to prove your power when you walk in it. The quiet confidence of a woman who knows who she is will always echo louder than the noise of someone trying to convince the world of their value. That's why when she leaves, her absence speaks volumes. She doesn't have to explain herself or announce her worth. Her energy says it all, leaving an impression without words, also means mastering self-control. Not everything deserves a reaction. Not every situation deserves an explanation. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply walk away with your head held high, that silence, strong, calm, and sure becomes your statement. Men especially remember that. They remember the woman who didn't argue to be understood, the one who let her peace speak for her. That kind of maturity is rare, and it makes you unforgettable. Because in a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, the one who stays calm becomes the loudest voice in the room. It's also about authenticity. You leave an impression when you're real. You're not pretending, not performing. You're just being. You laugh when it's funny. You speak when it matters. And you love without losing yourself. That kind of realness is rare and magnetic. It makes people feel something genuine in your presence. That's what stays with them. It's not what you said, it's how you made them feel when you said nothing at all. A woman who leaves a mark without words has mastered the balance between softness and strength. She's kind but not naive, warm but not weak. She doesn't demand their respect. She earns it through consistency, grace, and quiet dignity. And that's what makes her unforgettable. A man might forget your words. He might forget your outfit, but he'll never forget how your energy made him feel. He'll remember the calm in your eyes, the confidence in your silence, the peace in your presence. That's how you stay on his mind all night long, not because you spoke the loudest, but because your silence said everything